Hi, and welcome to week 6. You are almost done this very first course in the program. So let's just start with the learning resources and what there is to read this week. So part of your reading is going to be also part of the Next Steps in Professional Development paper, and that is the Code of Ethics and the NASW Standards for Cultural Competence. There's also a chapter, and this chapter, I don't know, I posted an announcement. There's a couple of Murphy chapters. I posted an announcement. There were a couple of missing pages. I'm not sure. I think it was for last week and not for this week, but if you can't find a couple of pages, then go to the announcements. There's a chapter there. I'm going to talk more about leadership, and then also be thinking about termination, because we're coming down to the home stretch for this course, but you're also in your group and you want to think about ending your group, okay? Hopefully you've had a chance to experience some chaos, that you've leaned into the chaos, and that when that happened, you honestly spoke about what you were thinking and what you were feeling, but not in a chaotic way. And that's what leads you to experiencing community. If you never experienced chaos, you cannot know if you are in community, because in community, people embrace chaos. So if even one person in the group is in chaos, the whole group is in chaos. One person in the group doesn't feel comfortable in the group is not in community. So community, you can only know if you've experienced chaos and you've worked through it. That's what a group and community does. Okay? Now, speaking of community and the stages that lead up to community, this week you're going to watch Freedom Writers. And you might have to go to iTunes or on demand, or wherever, Netflix or something, whatever you have that will allow you to see or watch this film. I know it's from 2007, but it's an awesome film. Maybe you've seen it before, but this time you're going to watch it from a different perspective, from this group perspective, okay? You're going to be, as you watch the film, you're going to be thinking about, what are the group dynamics that are going on? What stages does this group go through? And then what are the interventions? So what happens throughout the film that brings the group into a different phase, or takes the group back into a different phase, okay? So you're commenting on the group dynamics and interventions. Don't summarize the film. I've watched it a million times, maybe, and everybody in the class will have watched it too. We encourage you to actually talk about it also in your small group, and see if there's any parallels between the group in Freedom Writers and your own small group. Okay? You'll have one response to one classmate, and maybe think about how that classmate, how their analysis gave you a richer perspective of the film, and how or why their analysis might be a little different from your own. Okay? Small group. So here you'll upload your summaries here, talking about what's happening in your small group. I always respond to each one, usually on Monday. So I hope you go back and read it, because I say, here's something important to do. All right. Okay. So you want to practice. If you didn't practice already, you want to practice recording something on Zoom. And remember, there is a time frame. So you have only 40 minutes of Zoom time. If you think that you're going to go over that, you can always stop and then start again in somebody else's Zoom room and finish up. Okay? Okay, so here you have all that. Some tips on this. Lighting, sound, your 40 minutes of fame. Okay, dyad exercise. This is focused on feeling different. And you're going to have a conversation with your dyad partner. And you're going to tell each other about a time when you felt different. You decide what different is. You decide what you feel comfortable talking about in terms of feeling different, okay? And then this is actually your wrap-up with your dyad partner. So you want to also maybe have a conversation with them about how did it go? What did you like? Maybe what would you do differently? Just so wrap that up. You don't have to write about it in your process note in week 7. It's just your experience, okay? Just for you. And then here is here's the actual grading rubric for the next step in professional development. Now I made you a separate video that it gives you instructions about what to do. In this paper, I'll just say a couple of things. In this paper, this is an extension of your emotional intelligence paper, where you talked about your emotional intelligence. I have had students say, not necessarily in this class, I don't really have anything to work on. I'm good to go. And I would just say very respectfully that I disagree. I find that I have things to work on still and probably will for the rest of my life. So if we think that we are good to go at any point in time, we are actually cutting ourselves off from learning and changing and doing things different. Does this mean because we have to learn something that there's something wrong with us? No, there's nothing wrong with us personally. It just means that we have more to learn. Okay? You can be a good person and still have things to learn. So here is here are the areas that you're going to be talking about. So again, you need to talk about you. This is about you, all right? What are you interested in doing? What skills do you need? And what skills are you talking about that come out of the code of ethics and the cultural competencies? And then you need to be honest about where your biases are. Now, biases aren't they could be about discrimination. They could be about prejudice. But biases are really more about, I kind of lean in this direction. This is all I really know. So this is what I'm most comfortable with. That could be a bias, okay? You want to be honest about that. And what are you going to do about that? Okay? And then areas of future growth in education, in personally and professionally, and only share what you feel comfortable. Only I'm going to read it. But you need to address each one of these separately, okay? And there's more in the video. So that is the end for this week. Okay? If you have any questions, please ask me, and I will see you in the course. Okay? Thanks. Bye.